Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this special video. We're going to take a look at the WhatCulture article of 10 things that must happen at Fastlane. There's so much to get through. Let's get straight into it, shall we? This is the first point. LA Knight secures the pin. So this obviously is John Cena, LA Knight taking on Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso. Do we agree that LA Knight has to take the pin? I would say so. I don't mind if the Bloodline win this match. There's not really any need for John Cena to be the one to get the pin. He's a massive star. He doesn't need it, but LA Knight needs it. So yeah, if Bloodline was to get the win, fine. Don't have a problem with that. But we're probably not going to run this match back. We're probably not going to do this match again. I don't know if Cena is going to have another match during this run. I would think probably one more. So it's probably not going to be this match. So I would say let's give LA Knight his moment. And that will just help continue to build him and help to make him a bigger star. Next, we've got this. So, John Cena endorses LA Knight. So, WhatCulture really want John Cena to help to make LA Knight a bigger star. So, they're saying not only should he get the pin, but there should be a little moment between them that kind of really shows that John Cena really respects and appreciates LA Knight. And I've got no problem with that. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. That is what these legends are probably best to do, is help to put over that next generation of talent. So, yeah, no issue with that whatsoever. Moving on to a different match, we've got Iyo Sky survives as champion again. I'm going to agree. Just so you know, I do disagree with a couple of things later, but there's a lot of agreement that I've got with WhatCulture. So, yeah, this is Asuka versus Iyo versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. And I just think Iyo's not had it very long. She hasn't been champion very long, so it doesn't make much sense to take the title off of her. So, yeah, Iyo surviving as champion, I have no problem with that. But then the next point they've got is that Charlotte wrecks shop. They really want Charlotte to kind of turn heel. They really want Charlotte to go back to being that kind of monster heel that she was, going back like just the other year. I mean, I think Charlotte works better as a heel. She's not a natural babyface. So I think she works better as a heel. I've got no problem with this. No problem with Charlotte going back to being a heel. And then it could set up some interesting matches against some of the baby faces that are over on SmackDown. Moving on, we've got another match we're going to look at now, and this is the six-man tag match. LWO taking on Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So, in regards to this, I feel like, and WhatCulture feel like, the new faction should get the nod. It should be Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits that pick up the win. They're brand new. They need to get some momentum going. We know that the Street Profits suffered a disappointing loss the other day, and so they've kind of overcome that. They're showing that they're starting to embrace being bad guys, being heels. That momentum has got to continue here. So Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits picking up the victory feels like the right way forwards. Then we've got this moment. One more match gets added. And it is true, we've only got 5 matches. So there definitely needs to be 1 or 2 more that get added. I think that will probably happen on SmackDown. I would imagine something will get added. But if not, then at the show or just before the show, we definitely need to get that up to at least 6. 5 is quite low. I think there was 6 at Backlash, and I think there was 7 Payback. So we're not a million miles away. But yeah, I agree. At least 1 more needs to be thrown in. Some people are thinking maybe we do Rhea against Nia. I think that's difficult because I don't know quite how that goes. I think Nia would have to win, but win by count out or win by DQ. Nia has come back. She's looking like a monster. We don't want to have her lose clean so early, but we don't also want to be taking the title off Mommy. So, yeah, this is tricky. I think I would have Nia win by count out or DQ or something along those lines. But we don't even know if that's the match that's going to be added. There's a few other matches that could find their way onto the card. We know that Gunther against Tommaso Ciampa was going to be on this card, so that's the match that's missing. So we do need to find a replacement for that. I do agree with WhatCulture there. In fact, I think I've agreed with WhatCulture every single point so far. We've got about 4 points left to go. Let's see if we agree with the next one. It's about a different match. Cody and Jey trying to get those tag titles from Finn and Damian. Now, this is difficult to predict. I actually think the vast majority of this card is quite easy to predict or quite easy to know which way you would like it to go. In regards to this match, I think this is hard because Judgment Day are in a decent place again now that Rhea is back. Don't really want to be taking the titles away from them. Not after Dominic just got his championship back on Tuesday. Titles are kind of coming and going from the Judgment Day. So, I don't know. They need a period of stability. So, I think the Judgment Day are going to get the victory here. I don't think it'll be Cody and Jey. But then saying that, I can see why it should be Cody and Jey. Because if you've got the tag titles, you can go to Raw, you can go to SmackDown. Could you imagine Jey Uso with the tag titles going to SmackDown, bumping into Jimmy? That would be amazing. Plus also, Cody with a tag title means he can go to SmackDown. He could confront Roman, and we could really start to set some up there as well. So the freedom that you get by having the tag titles, meaning you can come and go to Raw and SmackDown as you please, would be very interesting and useful if we put them on Cody and Jey. I don't know how long this tag team's going to be around, though. Clearly not that long. So do we put the tag titles on them, or have they just been thrown together for this match? I keep flip-flopping on which way this is going to go. It's so hard to predict this one. I really struggle with this one. I really do struggle with this one. I keep changing my mind on it. So what they're saying at WhatCulture is that, how about this? How about Drew McIntyre gets involved, and Drew McIntyre, that still has not forgiven Jey, actually now costs Jey, for some reason, comes down to the ring, gets involved, and actually sticks his nose in and costs Jey. And so could we then start to see a Drew versus Jey feud start to really take some steam? Really start to gather some momentum? Like, that could be interesting. That could be fun. So, yeah, I don't mind. I'm going to agree with it. But I'm now going to stop agreeing. I'm going to stop agreeing now. You'll be pleased to know, right? Here we go. Final three. So the last match that we've not spoke about is Shinsuke taking on Seth Rollins. And they're saying at WhatCulture, Seth Rollins just retains. I'm going to hope not, because the point I'm making here is that if you don't pull the trigger on Shinsuke now and put the world title on him now, when are you going to do it? This is as good as we have ever seen Shinsuke on the main roster. Shinsuke is someone that has really struggled to kind of find a voice, really struggled to find consistent TV time. He is someone that had an Intercontinental Championship run, which lasted a while, but was so underwhelming. And he has been underwhelming, not really through his fault, just really poor booking. Just no creative, just real lack of interest in the character. But what he's been doing with Seth has been so much better. My concern is if you don't put the title on him, it's back to obscurity for Shinsuke. And I just think if you don't pull the trigger now, when are you going to do it? Seth doesn't need this title because Seth... And also, you've got the perfect excuse. I mean, Seth can go and feud with so many people. You can do so much stuff with Seth. I wouldn't worry about Seth not having the title, but I do worry about Shinsuke not having the title. He's tried once, he's failed. Now he's got the match he wants. He'll probably fail again. I think Seth does win, to be honest. I think Seth does win, but I can't get past the fact that if you don't pull the trigger now, when are you going to pull the trigger on Shinsuke? So I'm disagreeing with WhatCulture. I don't want Seth to retain. Then they're saying, then Seth collapses. I mean, I don't mind that, but I'm not really looking for that. So they're saying that Seth retains, and then after the match, he collapses because Damian cashes in. No. Hard disagree. Hard disagree. He doesn't need the world title. He's one half of the tag team champions, so why does he need the world title, right? Like, I know that the idea of just putting a load of belts onto Judgment Day might be exciting, but for me, there's going to be a time where he'll need that world title, and right now he doesn't need it. Right now, everything is sunny in the Judgment Day. Everything is great in the Judgment Day. They've got the tag belts. Dominic just got his title back. Rhea is the women's world champion as well. So there's so much good stuff going on in the Judgment Day that you could make the argument, well, make it even better. Make it better by giving him the world title. But why? We don't need to. Like, a rainy day will come, right? The Judgment Day will split at some point, I'm sure of it. Then we can talk about putting the title onto him. So I'm not saying it's not happening. Like, it absolutely could. But I'm saying, why? Why would we do it? What's the point in doing it? What is the point in putting that world title onto Damian Priest? I think that it'll be better if we save it, because who knows what we're going to be doing with him around WrestleMania time next year. I'm sure Triple H has got an idea, but I like the idea of going into WrestleMania with Damian still with that Money in the Bank briefcase. You know, that'll only make whatever the world title is at WrestleMania even more interesting. If you cash it in now, you're throwing that opportunity away. And I don't know why you would do that for this moment in time when we don't need it. He doesn't need it. Judgment Day don't need it. So I think this is just because the card's a bit dull, to be honest. I think it's just a case the card's a bit dull. People are just looking for ways to make the card better, but that to me is not a good reason as to why you would use the Money in the Bank and cash in the Money in the Bank. Maybe he could have it and that could start a little bit of jealousy between Finn and Damian, and we could get some little looks, and that could ultimately lead to the split. I could understand that, but my argument would be that we can achieve that so many different ways. We can have that jealousy. We've already seen it, and there was no world title involved, right? All it takes is a few losses and one person to think the other is letting them down. We don't need a world title to be involved to split up this group. They've come close enough by themselves to splitting anyway that we don't need the world title. We don't need to use it for that. There's going to be a better opportunity and a better time and a better reason for Damian to cash in. I really don't think this is the time. So, yeah, I wouldn't do it. If I was booking, I wouldn't do it. But I have to stress, because there is every chance that WWE do it, right? There's every chance they do it. They're going up against Collision. They've got Big Tuesday coming up against NXT. This card is underwhelming. On paper, it looks like one of the weakest premium live events that we've had. So they may want to shock the world and have a new world champion crowned by Damian cashing in. But as I said, I think that's a pretty poor reason as to why you would do it. Just to try and wake up a show. Like, you're covering over bad booking, bad creative, underwhelming booking by having someone cash in and hoping that that distracts when really the card should have been better. Let's quickly just recap the matches so that we can just make sure that our predictions are out there. So LA Knight and John Cena against Solo and Jimmy. I'm going to say LA Knight, Cena win. LA Knight gets the pin. Iyo, Charlotte, Asuka. We're going to say Iyo retains. LWO against Bobby and Street Profits. It's a win for Bobby and the Street Profits. Judgment Day taking on Cody and Jey. I'm going to go with Judgment Day. I have changed my mind on that so many times, but I'm going to go with Judgment Day. And then Seth versus Shinsuke. I think it could go either way. It'll probably be Seth that wins, but I really want it to be Shinsuke. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Appreciate the support. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.